Welcome to the Doggy Dojo. My name is Trevor Smith, and today is week 6 of our All-Star Foundation series. We're going to be doing a lot of games today. Some of the games today are going to be helping you guys achieve your canine good citizen skills, your dog agility skills, and even helping your dog with more reinforcement strategies like having your dog learn how to listen to you and get reinforcement using the pet reinforcement strategy. Of course, today we have our special guest, Mochi, and we're going to get started on a game called Leash On, Leash Off. Of course, you're going to get your leash. One of the big problems with leashes is that as soon as your dog is off the leash, they're gone, right? Like you take the leash off and the dog's like, see ya. So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. And the way you can actually do that, and also some of your dogs get way too excited about the dog leash. Like they actually are so like, oh my gosh, it's time for a walk. So we're going to work on that behavior as well. But I want a dog to listen to me with and without a dog leash, right? So if I'm at a park or if I'm out in public, I don't want my dog, as soon as the leash comes off, to say, see ya. I want them to say, what do you want? I'm still here for you. Until I give them a release command to go do whatever they want. So we are going to do that with Mochi here. I have my treats. I have Mochi. And there's so many different ways to do this, but I'm going to just give you one of the ways. But Mochi, come here. Ready? I'm going to do leash on. First, I'm going to take him by the leash and put a leash on him. Give him reinforcement for that leash being on him. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the leash off of him and also give him reinforcement. So when the leash comes off, the dog goes, oh, I still have to focus in. I still have to stay engaged. So that's important for them to be looking at you as soon as the leash comes off and not looking around them and looking at their environment and running off to go chase another dog or squirrel or something like that. Ready? Let's go search. I'm gonna get him a little excited here. Good job. Put the leash on. Good job. Give him a cookie. The reason I'm giving him a cookie for leash on is I want him to know that when the leash comes on, nothing bad's happening, but also when the leash comes off, and we're also getting a cookie. Now here's the next phase of this game. What you're going to do is you're going to ask for a behavior after you take the leash off. Now this is something that's important as well. Sometimes what happens is as soon as you ask your dog to do a behavior off leash and you give them a cookie, then it's game over. They're like, moving on to the next thing. Because they think, behavior done, I've got my reinforcement, off to the next. We don't want that behavior either. So we want our dogs to stay focused on us no matter what. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the leash off. Good. We're going to give him some treat for being leash off. We're going to tell him to go into a down. Yes, we're going to give him a treat for that. We'll also maybe ask him to do Mochi, here, touch. Yes, as well. Nice engagement activity. And you could go on and go on and go on, but then the leash comes on. And it's not game over either. So many different emotions with the leash that sometimes it's just good to just normalize it a little bit. Now we're in our studio space. It's nice and calm here. We're now out in the environment or in a grassy area. So there's not as much for him to go run off to. So work on this in a low distraction environment at first, but of course you want to take this and build context in multiple environments. That might be a cool video in all itself too. It's just showing you how to do all the behaviors you've been learning in class in multiple contexts and multiple environments. Canine Good Citizen is a test that you can do with your dog to certify them that they know how to do basic obedience skills and are okay to be in public spaces. This by no means is a service dog training program, but it is a good step towards your dog getting ready for service dog training if that is something you're trying to pursue with your dog. The first games or tests you have to do is greeting behavior and getting your dog to stay at your side while being greeted. Someone's going to approach you while your dog's at your side, shake your hand, and then ask to pet your dog. So it's important that your dog is comfortable with staying in the sit position. Also, while being petted over the top of the head, their ears being touched and their front 2 paws being touched. While they're being pet and their front 2 paws are being touched, it's okay if they get up as long as they don't jump up on the evaluator. Along with that, they'll take a brush that you provide to stroke or comb across their back. So make sure your dog's used to being brushed across the back with a comb that you can bring to the test. One of the other games you're going to need to do is basic obedience games, which we've talked about already, like sit. Getting your dog to do a sit, and getting your dog to do a down. Yes, good job. Next, one of the other skills your dog has to know is a come when called. Search. Mochi, come. Good job. Ooh, yellow. Thank you. Wow. Good job. And how to walk nicely on a leash. Now, all these things I'm doing right now are off leash, because if I can get my dog to do these behaviors off leash, they're more likely to do them also on leash as well. And with the CGC test, your dog needs to be able to do a straight line, right turn, about turn, and a left turn, as well as be able to stop. And I like to teach a dog to sit at my side when I stop. They're not required to, but it helps the dog to be more successful when taking the test. So once again, Mochi, come here, ready? Go in a straight line, take a right turn, an about turn, a left turn, and some point, stop, and sit at your side. Of course, right now, while Mochi is training, we're using treats. In the Canine Good Citizen test, you're not allowed to use treats, but of course, while training, reinforce your dog for these behaviors, so when you go to do the test, they're also more successful. Finally, something we're going to touch base here that we've talked about in the past, which is stay. Now, we've done value for stay or value for bed, and getting them to stay on top of a platform in the past, but not on the flat, where they're on a flat surface. So one of the behavior cues or reinforcement cues that you can use with your dog to help this be more successful is a good marker cue. And that means I'm going to bring the treat to you. Good. Now, yes, when I tell my dog yes, a lot of times it means to come get the reinforcement from me. But for stay, it might be essential for your dog to understand that you must stay in this position, sit, that you're at. And I'm going to tell you good and bring you the treat to you. When you take a step back, if you stay there, good. When I take a step to the left, good. Let's take a step to the right here. Good. Very nice. And what I might do is I also might start working on always rewarding from kind of a central point. If I reward from over here and over there and over behind him, he's going to start to follow me around. But I want him to know there. Now, I haven't told him S-T-A-Y to stay because I want to build the behavior first. Good. Before I name the behavior. If he gets up, I'm just going to remind him to go back into a sit. Good. And only reinforce him for staying that sit for a certain period of time. Good. And we have some great distraction over here. Good. Super. Nice job. And when I'm done with him, or want him to be free or released, I'll say free. It's important that you have a good, solid release cue with your dog, because if you don't, what will happen is your dog will just assume to be free anytime. If you just walk away from your dog, they're just going to get up randomly. Free. Good job, buddy. And I want him to know that when I say the word free, you can go about your business. But I don't want him to be free out of a stay position until I say the word free. So stay means to stay until I give you a release cue. If you're enjoying the training games here on the Doggy Dojo and this All-Star Foundation series, and you want to know more about Canine Good Citizen skills that we'll talk about in future training videos, be sure to subscribe. Make sure also to hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video here on the Doggy Dojo. As you can see behind me, I went ahead and did a Doggy Ninja Warrior course, but for my daughter, because she was wanting to play on these climbs with me. And I use this climb to sit down on, but we're going to play now. It's called the Veto game. And we have a bowl, and we have some plates, and these are little Elmo plates, or Sesame Street plates for my toddler. And we're going to put a plate to my right, and a plate to my left. So I put a cookie over here, and then when he comes on this side, I'll put a cookie over here, and I'll go and reset a cookie over here. And the goal for him is to start to wrap this cone. Use a cone. You can use a water jug. Use anything you want them to. But this is the beginning of cone wrapping games for dog agility. So I learned to wrap an object. I'm going to scoot this out a little further because he's doing pretty good. I don't want him to come between. Yes, good job. Very good. Yes, good boy. I want him to wrap it. Yes, good job. Get it. Now, you're not necessarily supposed to talk a bunch like I am doing right now, but I'm doing it for y'all for the most part. And you don't need to talk a bunch because you don't want to influence too much of the behavior. You want them to kind of shape going around this object. So he does. I went a little further out with the thing. I'm trying to wait for him to wrap it, then drop the cookie, because I want him to initiate the behavior I'm looking for and then get reinforcement, that I'm not just like luring him around the object. I like the food in the bowl on my side here, because if I have the food in my hand, he sometimes might want to go ahead and do something for that. There we go. Good boy. And the goal would be eventually to get this out further and further, that he always wraps it and never goes in the middle part, but he's just being a smart dog. I think we're about to get a breakthrough here. This is the less exciting part of dog training. You got distracted. We might use that to our advantage here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and give him a cookie here. So just kind of reset his brain. Think about it. Not easily. I could lure this. I could help him try to get the cookie over here. And he's distracted by a toddler cookie over here. We're just going to wait it out. Yeah, good boy. I think it's important to talk during that part. Yeah, good boy. Super. Nice catching on. Yeah, good job. He could go through the little gap here. We don't want him to go through the gap. We want him to go through around the cone. Like, is it that simple? Give him another cookie search. I don't want him sitting down, laying down. I want him to actively do stuff for it. Yes, good job. I'm going to pause it there. And how you pause this game is you actually give him lots of snuggles and praise. Good job, buddy. What a good doggy. Come here. Give him some love. Kind of reset that brain a little bit. Chandler, such a good job. I want him to think that it's game over and this is all boring and fun. I'm going to pick up the plates. I'm going to pick up the bowl, and we're done. Now, Mochi has done a lot today, especially that last game was a big brain teaser for him. So we're going to jump into a very much easier game, but very important. That is the pet then treat game. And how that's going to look is we're going to give him a Mochi. You can get him up here on this climb here. That'll be easier. I'm going to ask him for behavior. Sit. Yes. Pet. Then treat. We're ask for down. A little hard to do on the climb here. Yes. Pet. Then treat. Good job. I ask for multiple behavior. Sit. Touch. Yes. Pet. Then treat. I want him to start to understand that when I pet him, that's also reinforcement, that he doesn't always have to get a cookie at times. I want him also to be able to work for me with food and without food. Good boy. Ready, spin. Yes. Pet, treat. This is a little good canine fitness exercise. Do a little spin. On top of here, yes. Good job. A little twist or a left turn, right turn, depending on how you call it. Yes, pet, then treat. This way, when I'm training him and I'm using pet as a reinforcement, it's not like, I didn't get a cookie for that. It just becomes part of the mix. So start adding this into your training. We add a pet right before you give a treat. So you start building up that pet reinforcement strategy like we've talked about in previous videos. The next reward reinforcement strategy that we're going to do today is jazz up, settle down. This comes from Dr. Ian Dunbar, one of the best dog trainers in the whole wide world. We call him the dog father sometimes. And that is basically get your dog excited and deceiving him to settle down. So we're going to get him playing. Ready? Get the toy, get it. Oh, what a good boy. Oh, yeah, get him excited. Tug on the toy. Woohoo! Wow! Wow! Can you get your dog excited? Some people can't. Some people can't get their dog to be excited for them and playing with them. But we can. Right. And then ask for, thank you or release cue. And then we're going to ask for a settle behavior. Sit. Yeah, go back to it. Yes, good job. What a good dog. It's a fun way to get your dog to get into that high arousal, high excitement state, like they would for dog agility shows or any other activity, like going to the park with other dogs, and then, to get the toy from them. Thank you. All right. Always see it's hard. Ready? Hard to process, hard to get the teeth out of this hole. Yes, and then let's see if we go down. Yeah, good boy. Go get that toy. Yeah, this is what all this toy training's been leading up to, so we can play the jazz up, settle down game. Wow. What a good boy. What a good job. Super. Thank you. Give it. Ready, down. Okay, give me sit. Yes, good job. Get it. And you see him get excited, right, about it. He's like, oh, I get to do behaviors for Dad because that means we're going to play fun games with you. And this is where training just takes up a whole nother notch for your training lifestyle. That your dog won't see training as just a chore and just a way to get a paycheck, aka dog treats, that it's also fun, it's exciting, and you're fun and you're exciting. I have no reason to go chase that dog right now because I'm playing and training with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video here on the Doggy Dojo. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thanks for watching. As always, have some fun with your dog, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.